Hey friends, Wrinkled Runner here. Today we're going to talk about personalizing your training plan. If you've ever found a running plan online, training for a race, or just like an everyday week for how to run, or found one in a book, have you ever wondered how to personalize it for you? Different things, different workouts, and different ways that you can make it more customized for your personal running journey. Well, today we're going to talk about how to do that, so stay tuned. This past June, I was in Utica, New York, and the Roadrunners Club of America had a running coaches certification course that they did. And over 2 days, I trained to be a running coach. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to do that was so that I was able to make a personalized plan for me for my marathon training or half marathon training and the different things that I do, and even for my off season where I still run but I'm not really training for anything. I wanted to learn how to build a plan from scratch so that I was able to customize it for myself. Before I learned how to do this, I would do the plan to the letter. Whatever I found online or whatever book I was using, I would do it to the letter. If it told me to run 5 miles, I ran 5 miles. If it told me to run 10 miles, I ran 10 miles. And I didn't really know the different things that you can do to tweak a plan. A lot of the plans just have you run certain mileages and don't have you run certain workouts within the plan itself. And I learned how to build in some of these workouts so that I could do a tempo run, or I could do it a fartlek, or I could do it a interval run, and be able to tweak the training a little bit so that it was better for my personal running fitness. So I'm going to use this board over here. It's kind of a whiteboard, but it's actually a blackboard. So I'm going to put up a sample plan here for a week, say. We're going to say we're going to do 6 miles on Monday. And on Tuesday is going to be a rest day. Wednesday is going to be 4 miles. Thursday is going to be 20 miles. Friday is going to be a rest day, and Saturday is going to be 6 miles. Okay, so this is actually my week. This is the week I'm having this week because I am training for the Chicago Marathon. Okay, mic's on now. Just figured that out, that I had that off. So anyway, this is the week that I've had. This is the week I'm going to have this week for my running. Now, the training that I'm using is from a book, and it just gives you the mileages like that. Doesn't tell you to run this one a tempo or anything like that. So how I tweak this is on Monday, a lot of times I put some speed work in. So what I did this week was 3 miles at race pace. And I figured out, using a pacing calculator, which I'll link to down below, what my paces should be for different workouts. And my race pace is going to be an 8:45. So I do a 1 mile warm up, and then I do 3 miles at race pace, and then a 2 mile cool down. And that just tweaks the run just a little bit to make it a little bit more workout so that I can improve my speed. Now, the Wednesday run, they call it a recovery run, which I think is really weird that I do that the day before a long run, but that's what they call it. You're kind of shaking out your legs a little bit, getting them ready for the run the next day. A 20-mile run, I don't tweak at all. Sometimes if I have a 16 or 18-mile run, I will do like 12 at race pace, but when it's a 20-miler, I just do that very, very easy. It's just conversational pace. I should be able to talk through it, and I just run very slowly. So on Saturday, my husband runs with me, and so we do a speed work session for him on Saturdays. So what we will do is a 1 mile warm up, and that is either a jog. It's not usually walking, but sometimes it is, depending on if it's super warm or not. Then we will go into a half mile interval, and that will be at a faster speed. And like I said before, it's the same as up here. There are pace calculators online that can tell you what your speeds should be for these different things. So at a half-mile interval, he's probably going to go about like a 9-minute mile. Then after that, we'll have a 1/4 mile of recovery. And that recovery will either be a very slow jog or a walk or a combination of both. You're getting the heart rate down, you're getting ready to run another half-mile interval. So this we will do probably 4 times, 4 or 5 times. And then after that is done, whatever is left for a cool down is what we will do. So we'll run 1 mile, we'll run a half-mile, recover for a 4th mile, do that 4 times, and then do the rest of the 6 miles in a cool down way, which is probably a jog. Can be a walk, sometimes if it's super warm outside. I'm trying to get his heart rate down, and I may force him to walk. So that is how we're going to tweak this week's training. You can tweak it by, you can put in here, you can have a 30-minute tempo run. And because I don't know what your paces are, that's why I keep talking about this race or this pacing calculator, because you can find out based on either a mile run that you do or on a previous race that you've run, you can find out the different paces for this. So you can do a tempo run, or a fartlek is another thing that I do sometimes on my speed work days, where I'll just be in the park and I'll pick a tree and I'll say, okay, I'm going to go as fast as I can up to that tree. Then I recover after that. There are other types of workouts as well, and I will link down below to my posts about different kinds of workouts, and all those things you can put into your training. And it doesn't have to be this intimidating thing that you don't know how to do, so you're just going to go out and you're just going to follow the training to the letter. You can throw all these things in there. Now, I will say, if you are training for a race, especially a marathon, you don't want to have every single run be a tempo run or a fartlek or an interval run. You should have about 80% of your runs for a week be very easy, conversational. You're doing endurance, and then have the other 20% be some kind of effort. The other thing you need to look at when you are building a training plan or tweaking a training plan is there are other things that maybe you do that would be considered effort. You're doing hot yoga, that's an effort. You're doing a spin class, that is an effort. Take all those things into consideration and don't just have every single run be a really hard run or be some kind of a workout that is detrimental to your running fitness. And if you go back to last week's video about overtraining, I talk about why you do not want to have every single run be a hard effort. You're breaking down your body, you're not recovering, you're not building muscle. So it is a detriment to you to have every single run be a hard effort. What I learned in Run Coach certification is 3 weeks is a good cycle to use to train your body. So if you have 2 hard weeks, the following week have a recovery week. Either cut out a run, just have everything be easy, cut down on the mileage so that your body has time to recover and your body will adjust, and then the next week you're going to ramp it up again. Now, make sure that when you're doing some of these training things that you are very in tune to your body and that you're looking out for injuries. If something doesn't feel right, don't keep going at a hard effort. Don't keep adding all this stuff in. Make sure that you are optimizing your body for good running. Also, with your training, add in a warm-up and a cool down. Don't just go out and run, walk for a 1/4 of a mile, and your body needs and your heart rate needs to be able to come down. Over on the blog, I do have posts about adjusting your training and setting up a personalized training plan. So I'll link that down below, and then you can go over there and see a little bit in more detail. There are lots of workouts that you can put into your training, not just not just what I went over today. Today was very quick, just to kind of show you what I do to tweak the training, tweak the mileage a little bit. But I'll link down below to other things and other resources that can help you to do that. If you'd like me to look at your training plan and give you some suggestions on how to customize it a little bit more for you, you can comment down below or email me at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com and I will get back to you. You can go over to wrinkledrunner.com and fill out the contact form, and that is another way that I can get back in touch with you. And also, if you go over there, you can subscribe to my newsletter, which I only send out once a week, or once a month actually, and it does all the posts and the videos and the other things that I'm doing to talk about running in just the past month. So next week I'm going to do a review on UCAN, which is a super starch, and I'll talk a little bit about their story, and also I will show you how I use that to make my breakfast before a long run. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the run.